deeply flawed, and the system is making matters only worse. Take, for example, California. It was being held up as the model for Obamacare. The state-run exchange, we were told, was operating smoothly. However, turns out the process is not operating so smoothly. What's more, consumer information is being released without permission. The California Health Exchange is admitted to divulging contact information to insurance agents, and it's being done without the approval of consumers. Meantime, some in Congress are still working to repeal Obamacare, and in the process revealing more and more of its flaws.
Americans cannot keep the plan they like, they cannot keep the doctor they like, and it's increasingly clear that more needs to be done to keep the President's assurance that we will do for folks everything we can. Americans deserve to hear the truth. The administration has been stringing them along with promises that every day are being broken. Many of these promises were predictable. Many of these occurrences cannot be reversed. But to the extent that we can bring the American people the truth of what's happening and reverse, in any case we can, the lowering of access to care, we must do it.
Here's the bottom line. Tens of millions of Americans may not get quality health care coverage over the next year or two, and that means lives could be lost. So how is this acceptable? How is this an improvement over the old system of health care? Joining me now, private medicine advocate and Obamacare expert Patricia Newman. Patty, I pose the question to you. How could anybody frame this as an improvement, the Obamacare experience that we're having right now? How is this an improvement over what we used to have a year ago?
It's just plainly not an improvement. If you look at the polls back then, 85% of people were happy with the insurance plan they had, and instead of trying to address in a free market fashion the problems we had with the old system, we just destroyed everything we had, and this is an absolute mess. This is hurting most people. There are more people that have lost their insurance than those that have signed up for Obamacare.
Okay, let's go back to covered California, for example. It was being held up as a shining example of how wonderful the system can run. But now we're finding out some details. The devil is always in the details, and that many of the applications are getting clogged up, and a whole host of other problems like revealing personal information.
Yeah, so what happened was, when everybody was so happy about the October 1st launch of Obamacare, and they were holding up California Care as the example of how this was supposed to run, nobody told the American people that it was not running fine, that the applications were not getting through the system, through the Obamacare portal, and so there's a backlog of about anywhere from 25 to 35,000 applications where people logged in to sign up, didn't quite complete the process because of glitches on the website, so they decided to fax all these applications in. So these are paper applications, and then the government didn't have enough people to put them into the system. So what they did about 2 weeks ago, they didn't tell anybody until 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
They started calling the independent insurance brokers to ask for help. This is where the whole mess got even worse, because they didn't inform the people that had signed up or partially signed up.
Right.
They gave all the information to the insurance brokers for them to assist in enrolling them. Now, the insurance brokers have a portal of their own, like a backdoor to Obamacare. The problem is California Care did not match the fields that are normally in an insurance broker portal were completely different from the fields that are on the Obamacare portal. So they have all these paper claims. They're entering the information manually for the people that went ahead and contacted an insurance broker, and these brokers are taking anywhere from 45 minutes to 2 hours to enter manually one person at a time.
So here we have this huge high-tech system, this website that we spent $600 million on, and they're resorting to faxing and using a pen and paper. It's stunning. And at the same time, Covered California, it has been revealed, is sharing personal information from people who may not have even completed the process, but they put their information into the website, maybe created an account, and now they're giving it to some of the insurers. So how under HIPAA, does HIPAA still exist, first of all? And second of all, how under HIPAA can they do something like this?
It does exist, but it was just upgraded.
Or downgraded.
Or downgraded, depending on who you are. Yes, in January of this year, they came up with new final rules of the HIPAA law, which put into effect some changes that I was wondering, how they were going to get away with it. We've talked about the fact that the government wants the medical data from the patients. Well, under normal HIPAA law, you wouldn't be able to do that. So the fix is they changed the law. And now, as of September 23rd of this year, physicians are supposed to create this whole new set of papers to disclose to their patients that the rules have changed, and that as part of that new information, they have to tell the patients that if they want to keep their information private, they must pay for the visit in full, in cash. Otherwise, they have no privacy.
That is amazing. And then you couple that with the trouble that people are having signing up, and they've inputted information, and maybe they've even gone so far as to pay, and then maybe they haven't heard from their new insurance company. Bottom line is, by December 31st, there might be a whole slew of people, I mean, we're talking anywhere from thousands to possibly millions, who think they've signed up, but maybe they don't have coverage. So if you had any advice to them, would it be, hey, contact your insurer and make sure that you're signed up, or what would you do?
Well, you want to call an insurance broker, probably, because at least they have a shorter waiting time on hold. I think their hold is only, a half an hour, 18 minutes to a half an hour, as opposed to an individual calling who gets to wait sometimes more than an hour.
All right.
The problem, though, is that I also heard the insurance brokers, when they realized, when the government asked them 2 weeks ago to help them with all these applications manually, a lot of the insurance brokers decided they were not going to do enrollment for Covered California because of the liability that comes with it. So, I mean, you try to do your best. You have till the 23rd to complete the application, so you really can't wait till the end of the year. The 23rd, right in the middle of the Christmas holidays, they have to be concerned about this. And their check has to be postmarked by the 31st for them to have coverage starting January 1st. It's
a dire situation, and they're playing with people's lives, and it's just horrible that they're going through this through the Christmas season.
One of the things, I heard Jay Severin on the radio, he's a talk radio host, and he said, it is like we're all signing up to be slaves, and we're all complaining about the registration process on the way to being a slave.
Yeah.
We really should be focusing on repealing the law and getting the people, the right people, to D.C., because there's no way to put lipstick on this pig.
Oh no, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We got to get rid of the entire iceberg. That is for sure. Patty, thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up next, who told the lie of the year, as the Daily Ledger continues.